Hey creatives, Robert's over here, and today I'm gonna do a photo shoot recap from a session that I had with my muse Amy Cruz. This photo shoot was literally done the day before the shelter-in-place was enacted here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So being that it's a rainy day out and we're all inside, I figure I wanna take you through my editing process as I edit one of my photos that I took during that shoot. All right, let's get to it. So you can see here we have Amy. Took a nice shot of her using the LUMIX S1, which is Panasonic's full frame mirrorless camera. And what lens was I using that day? I was using the 70-200 f4 lens. So I had a lot of fun that day. It was great. Ironically, like I said, this is the day before the shelter-in-place started. So that's why this is a few weeks old. All right, so let's get to the basics. I like to obviously do all my editing inside of develop window here, and 80-90% of my work when I edit, or the photos that you've seen on my Instagram at Robert Silver Photography, have all been done inside of Lightroom. I rarely bring things inside to Photoshop to do any final retouching, skin smoothing, or blemish removal, etc. I could do the majority of my work all inside of this software. Okay, so let's start from the top. We got the basics. Let's start with the picture profile. I think I'm gonna go, it was shot in standard, but I'm gonna go with portrait just because I just like the way the skin's looking a little bit better inside of portrait. And portrait mode tends to put emphasis on skin tone colors. So let's go ahead with that. Close that. And then I want to make this a little bit warmer too. This is a little too cold. You can see the difference, 1, 2. So there we go. And then I like to hit auto just to see where the software thinks it should go, and then of course I start adjusting from there. No time have I ever pressed auto and it's exactly what I want, but it gives me a good reference point. Okay, so we're definitely gonna brighten that up because she needs to be much brighter. There we go. And the brighter you make the portrait, it actually makes the highlights brighter and thus make her skin more glowy. So not like super overexposed, but just be mindful of that, okay? So I am gonna punch this up to give it a little bit of dimension here. There we go. See how flat it looks? And now when I punch it up, you can see, here we go, that's already a big difference. Highlights, I am gonna bump up the highlights a little bit because she looks great. Even though you can see it's affecting the background. The background's not my concern because it's not the subject. I look at our skin tone and I like that, okay? Already, you can start to see a big difference. Just the hair over there. Cool. Texture, I like to put about 5. Texture is really good for adding that extra pop of sharpness. You can see here, but look what it does to the skin, so watch out. Okay, a dab will do. Okay. Here we go. Make it a little bit more. That's cool. Digging that. Digging that. And here I usually like this. 10. Cool. Just be mindful of what it's all those adjustments, especially clarity and contrast, is doing to her skin tone. Okay, so we have that for now. So that's just for now. Let's go here. I like to add medium, just a little bit of pop, but then I can see it's kind of killing the blacks there. So let's, before I use this, it's the slash button on my Mac, and I love going before and after a couple of edits just to see how far I've gone and how far I need to go. Let's bump this up a little bit higher. There we go. That's nicer. I like that. Looks better. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, sweet. Okay, so here I am. Cool. I'm digging everything. Let's go back. So I already added my tone curve. Digging that. Now let's look at her skin tone. It's a little bit orangey for me. It's my personal opinion, but Usually the reds, the oranges, and yellows take care of skin tones. So let's start with the red and just tone that down just a hair. Now watch out, because the more you tone down, you're also taking away from the color of her lips. So be careful with that. So again, a dab will do. I'm gonna just tone that down a bit. Let's go to -5. Cool. Before, after. I want her to have color, but like, I don't want her to be colorful like an orange, you know what I'm saying? So, cool. Split tone, not gonna add any of that right now. Detail, this is just my personal taste. I like doing 70. And then, if you hit this radius, you're gonna get this nice offset matte. This really adds some sharpness to it, just a little bit. Cool. Nice. Awesome. Cool. Digging that. So far, I'm really liking the way this photo's coming out. 1, 2, 1, 2. Beautiful. Then, I don't need to worry about the noise reduction. At least I'm not going to, because if you press I, you can see this information pop up on the upper left. And I shot at ISO 250, so I really don't care about the noise reduction for this photo. All right, now that I got everything basically the way I like it, again, nothing is set in stone until I export. Now I'm gonna start with these tools up here. First is, if you know you're gonna export this image for Instagram and it's already as a portrait, then if you click on the aspect inside the crop tool, the 4x5 and 8x10 is what you want for an Instagram post. I'd readjust and then press enter, and then boom. Now this is a perfect frame for an Instagram post, just to let you know, okay? So since we're not there yet, I'm gonna put that back to as shot, okay? I already see something I do wanna, like, maybe it's in here or something? Okay, anyway, cool. Nice. Next is your blemish removal. There's a lot of things in here that I wanna use, and that's why I use this navigator window so I can punch in. These little specks on the sidewalk are super distracting to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those. You'd be amazed, like if you really take the time, how many little things are distracting and taken away from the viewer's attention, or at least possibly can. Okay, cool. Before, after. You could already see a big difference. We all know sidewalks aren't clean, but you could at least make it not so distracting to your picture. This is just me. I just like to clean it up, and here we go. Here we go. Distractions go away. Then, awesome. This one here, I'm actually going to take it from here because this is all sun coming through some leaves. I do want to retain that. I just don't want that dark splotch because that's a little distracting. Cool. So you can see before, after. Before, after. Already a clean sidewalk in Oakland. Who would have thought? Now, look at this dude back here messing up my photo. Now, that's a definite photo bomb. Even though he's walking away, he didn't know. But regardless, we're gonna take him away with the same tool. So here we go. I'm gonna create a mask, put that mask over him, boopity boopity boop. And over the years and the new updates by Adobe Lightroom, it's gotten really good at being super accurate. So now I'm just gonna play with this a little bit. Cool. Wait. I could already see something. Hold on. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go like this. Boom. Take them out a little bit. Cool. Now you see I'm gonna try to line up these lines on the bottom best I can. Cool. Then I'm gonna go right here. Cool. No one's none the wiser. Okay, let me just clean up that one part that I know. And sometimes, even though no one will ever know, I know. Let's just put that right here somewhere. There we go. There we go. Cool. Bam. Dude is gone. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Now from there, let's see. I think I am gonna see how there we go. That's what I want, like that. I actually like that a lot. Cool. Now, when I'm boosting up the highlights, it actually complements my subject's appearance much better because it takes away some of the imperfections. I'll show you an example. If I lower, look what it does to her skin. It just shows more pores, it shows whatever, shadows, etc. But I'm not gonna go way overboard. But there is a fine line where she looks more like she's glowing versus showing the imperfections of the skin tones. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna still use the blemish tool, and we're gonna go in and remove some stuff in her skin, because when it comes to skin smoothing, before I even do that, your skin smoothing is only as good as the skin that you're smoothing. Does that make sense? Anyway, so what I mean by that is, if you're starting off with a rough surface with imperfections, and when I mean by imperfections, I don't mean her face. What I mean is skin tones, light to dark. If you start off with that, then you smooth it out. You're basically adding margin over a piece of toast. It's still rough. It's still going to show those imperfections through the margarine or butter. Okay, so that's why I like to clean it up as best I can before I even think about adding any sort of smoothing to her skin. Okay, so let's start with going back to that blemish removal tool. I'm gonna go real low and then start taking out all these little things. I'm like really picky with how I'll spend some time on this. I'm gonna go a little fast today because obviously I don't want this video to be forever, but it gives me an idea of what not only what I'm going to do on this photo, but it gives me an idea of what I'm going to do for the rest of the images in this photo shoot, because we have 5 now, but I'm only going to edit the one for you in this video. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Let's just take that away. Here we go. That looked a little better. You can see even right there. I'm going to do that. And I'm even though I have an Intuos small tablet, I'm actually using just a mouse today, just to prove to you that you can do a really good job if you just take the time to practice. Okay, it's taken me many years to get semi-decent at this whole photo editing, and while others have actually gone to school, graphic design, etc., to be really good at it. So it's not going to come overnight. Here we go. One of my favorite things about editing inside of Lightroom is that they have the undo button. I think it's a Control Z. Yeah, Control Z for Macs. And so if you mess up, just undo it. This is non-destructive editing, meaning you're not destroying or touching your raw files when you're doing any of the editing. So you should not be afraid to go crazy. Try it out. Touch these sliders, see what they do. And if you don't like it, press undo. And worst comes to worst, you press this fat button right here called reset. Cool, so far pretty good. One, look at that. Before, after. Before, after. Her skin already looks clean and glowing. And that is always my goal, is that they look, I don't know what women out there, and feel free if you are that one that doesn't like to know or like to be seen or want to be glowing, okay? If you don't, hey, you know, no problem. I'll make you dark and dingy if that's what you want. All right, this is beautiful. All right, now I'm gonna move down. Wherever the skin is, I'm gonna go look for those little imperfections. I might be a little bit too picky for some of you. Well, that's okay, because this is my photo. But feel free to let me know what your process is. Maybe I'll actually learn a little something. Cool. All right, now we're down by our arm. For sure, we want to remove all of this. Boom. Cool. Oh, see what it did? Tried to do that. There we go. And again, I want it to look like it was never there. You can see already, that's what I'm looking for, complementary pixels, so that I can maintain the accuracy or the texture of her skin, okay? Here we go. I don't want to touch the edge of that shirt, but close enough. Cool, but I'm actually going to use it right down here. Cool. I like that. Now she's got these little cool. Nice. Before, after. Oh, before. After. Before, after. Away, boom. Now, before. Oh, well, this is the after. Here's the before, after. Here's full screen. And you can see the photo already looks very clean. Just by taking the time using the blemish removal tool, you can do a large majority of your editing all inside of Lightroom without ever having to go to Photoshop. It's a powerful tool. They did not sponsor this video, so let me just add that. I'm just want to share with you what I do in order to create really nice photos. I'm not done. Let's get to it. Cool. So I'm really digging this. Now, let's get to smoothing out her skin. I'm gonna go to, there we go. We'll go right here. Okay, I like using, press on the brush, this is the brush tool. Then I use skin tone light, because this is a lot more of a lifestyle photo. It doesn't need to be super heavy with the skin smoothing, but just a little bit will be enough for you to notice and for your subject to notice. And trust me, a dab will do. Okay, so now it's time to touch up the skin. Now that we did all our basics, but what I like to do, since this is going to be more of a lifestyle kind of image, or rather it is, I'm not gonna go super heavy on the skin retouching. So let's get to it. So first I'm going to touch this brush tool, and then I'm gonna go to the soften skin light. There's another option, but I like to start off with the skin light because, again, I don't want to go heavy on an image that I consider to be more lifestyle than anything else. Let's open up this navigator. Here we go. And let's punch in. Boom. I think that's a good start right there. Cool. And as you can see, I have the show selected mask overlay on. I'm going to just press the option button and erase that. There we go. So as I'm applying the mask, I get to see where it's going, and I don't like to go near the edges. I don't like to go where the details should be nice and sharp. Adjust the brush, get a little bit closer. I don't go over the eyebrows. You see, I'm being very careful about the hairline. And if I do go over a little bit, I can just readjust and take it away just like that. Cool, right there. Awesome. I just fix it up a little bit. I'm doing this all, as I said earlier, with the mouse, and basically just to show you that you can do this too. Even though I have the Intuos pen tablet, and probably would make my life much more easier. It's not even a probably, it will. But I just wanted to prove that you could do this too. You don't need a lot of equipment or spend a lot of money to make this happen. Cool, nice. I like the way it's applied. Now let's take a look on the results. Boom. So here's the before, there's the after. Much cleaner, much brighter. She has that appearance of a glow, which any of your subjects, female, is going to appreciate, and maybe even some men too. But regardless, this is how you make that skin look nice, youthful, and bright. So now that I like the way that looks, I'm going to apply it to the rest of the skin. Let's go down here. Boom, and I'm gonna turn on the mask overlay again just to see where I'm applying this or where I'm not applying it. I'm gonna be very mindful of the edges and of the chain. I want the chain to remain nice and sharp, so I'm not gonna go near the chain. Maybe I did right there. Let me just be careful of that. Cool. I'll punch it even further if I feel like I want to get super close, but I don't need to. At least I don't feel like I do on this image. Cool. You don't need to get super perfect. When you pull away and you expand the image, and when you post it online, no one's going to notice that you didn't or did not. Just the majority. So you can see I'm not going to go on the edges where her knuckles are because I want the edges to be nice and sharp. I don't want it to be smoothed out. So I'm gonna just go in the back of her hand and her forearm, as I'm doing right now. Use the navigator tool to pull it closer. There we go. You see, I'm being very mindful of the edges. I don't want to hit that shirt. Again, I want that to be a sharp, clean edge. There we go. Bam. Looking good. Looking good. Enter twice. Look at that. Before. After. I'm loving it. Bam. Okay. Now I'm going to go down to her hand. I think I'm going to do just a little bit of her hand there. Press on that brush tool. And I'm going to make this even smaller. Go right around her hands. Cool. I'm not going to go over her tattoo because I want that to be nice and sharp. I want the detail to stay there. Awesome. Let me just go in here, see how I like it. It's looking pretty darn good. I'm definitely digging it. Now let's take a look. Here's the before and the after. Before and the after. Huge difference. Let's see the full screen of this. Bam. I'm loving it. It looks great. Now this photo as is, I would be more than proud to post this on Instagram. If you are going to post this on Instagram, as I said earlier, you press the crop overlay, go to 4:5/8:10, and that is the perfect aspect ratio for an Instagram post. Boom, just like so. Press F for full screen. And there you have it. You have a beautiful image ready to go, and I never left Lightroom. And that's why I love using this program. I'm more than happy. I'd be proud to post this on my website, Instagram, or what have you, Pinterest, etc. So that's just a little bit of what I go through when I'm editing inside of Lightroom from many of the photo shoots if you've seen me feature on my Instagram at Robert Silver Photography. If you have any questions about my editing process, remember, I don't have all the answers. I don't claim to have all the answers. But if you like how I do what I do, feel free to post any of your comments, questions, concerns down below. I will be hosting some online workshops for photo editing and etc. soon, so stay tuned. If you want to learn more about that, you can head to my website at robertsilverphotography.com, click on workshops for dates and details. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more, don't forget to press that like, share, and of course, subscribe to my channel. I'm Robert Silver, and until next time, keep shooting, stay creative.